Hello YouTube, I am Nerd, and welcome to the Kingdom of Nerd. Hello YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time you're ever coming and seeing what's going on, hopefully you like and subscribe. If not, then welcome back. And I would like to apologize to anyone that watches my videos regularly. I have been lazy for the last week. I have not uploaded any videos when I should be. I did tell you that I would upload one video every 2 days, or at least try to, and I have failed to do that. My own fault. So I am going to try and get as many videos up. I am going to be going on vacation and in the middle of next week. So I am going to toy around with the scheduling of videos being uploaded, and I will pre-record. I'm going to pre-record 5 to see how that goes, and I'm going to toy with it and see if the scheduling really works, which would be really cool. I'm still going to bring my computer with me, so if it doesn't work, I can still get them up. Needless to say, I haven't seen any movies lately, so I can't do a movie review. I don't have the stuff for video gameplay yet. I've been saving for the trip. So I've been playing Doom on my own, the new one. So I'm going to do a review when I finish that, which I'm going to say could be any day now. So hopefully one of the videos that are going to go up next week will be the Doom review. So I had been contemplating a new playlist. So I'm going to get comics, read them, give a basic summary of it. Hopefully you like the summary enough to buy it and read it. I was talking to the owner of the White Mountain Comics in Rumney, and we came to an agreement that he's probably going to give me some free stuff to wear on my channel so I can advertise him. In return, he's going to sponsor, or we will be a partnership, which will be great. I mean, I'm going to get his name out there, and he's going to share my videos on his websites and anything else. So that'll be great. I mean, he gets a lot of my money, so so I guess it's you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours type of situation. So while I was there, he got some more of my money, and I got 2 comics that I'm going to read and review. Well, not necessarily review, but go over in this video, one at a time. So there's going to be one in this one, I'm going to do another one, and that'll probably be up in the next day. But I'm going to start on number 1s, like in a new series, an old series. Probably going to aim for a lot of the newer stuff because that's what's current, and then it gives me time to wait until the new one comes out. If I don't like the series, then obviously I'm going to say it sucks and stop reading it. I mean, it's as easy as that. So, for my first comic read, I'm going to do the new Punisher, number 1. I have not ever read any of the Punisher stories. I know the basic concept. Obviously, it's not very hard to understand. I saw the movie back when it came out, the first Punisher movie. So I know the basic story behind Frank Castle. So I'm gonna go read this, and I will be right back, and then I will tell you about the story. All right, so I read the book. Sorry about the glare right in here. My lighting isn't the greatest. I'm just using a chandelier and the lights around the house, and it is in its case with a backing on it, so I don't really want it to get bent while it's sitting on the stand that I put it on. So I'm gonna work with the lighting. Obviously, now that I know that that's there, I can kind of toy with it and figure it out for the next one. I probably won't, but I'm going to say that I'm going to. So, the story, I wouldn't say it's a retelling of The Punisher, but it's definitely an interesting concept. It's The Punisher #1. I'm almost positive this is a variant cover, but I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on that, because odds are someone's going to tell me I'm wrong in the comments, so it's alright. But I was right. This is a Frank Castle Punisher. It's not one of the other Punishers that have been named Punisher while Castle was missing, or he had died, or so on and so forth. So and don't mind my eyes darting down, I'm looking at my notes because I wrote notes like an idiot. Like, I wrote cliff notes for myself so I don't kind of ramble on and forget who I'm talking about. So, besides the Punisher, named people in it that will probably be reoccurring, there's 1, 2, 3. There's 5 people so far besides the Punisher, so 6 counting the Punisher. There are a bunch more people in it, but they're just henchmen. They have no names, and that's basically it. So, let's go through the potential good guys, because technically the Punisher is a good guy. He's killing people, so he's really a bad guy, but he's a vigilante, so he's not really categorized as a good guy. The 2 good guys in this basic main plot, kind of getting the ball rolling, are 2 DEA agents. One female who's the lead investigator. They don't give any first names yet, but they just go by Ortiz, and the male is Henderson, and he seems to be her second in command, because they go through a whole debrief of what's going to go down, and I'll get into the story in a few minutes. The first guy you actually meet is his name is Olaf. He's the main bad guys. They refer to him as the man on the ground. He's the guy running the operation in the warehouse. So, and I will cap on him in a minute. The main bad guy's name is Condor. He's the big boss. You don't see him yet. You only hear about him, and he has a brief conversation on the phone with his second in command, whose name is Face. He has a reason behind why his name is Face, and I will tell you that at the end of this little synopsis. So, anyways, back to Olaf. Olaf met Condor when they were in a mercenary group. So they've known each other for a long time. And Face is giving Olaf crap because Olaf's older than Face, and he's basically saying, I don't understand why the boss wants you in charge of this operation, but he wants you in charge. It's probably because they've known each other for so long. And Olaf just, brushes it off, doesn't really care, kind of tells Face off, and Face leaves, leaving 2 big henchmen there to kind of watch over Olaf and make sure he doesn't screw up. So they're manufacturing this drug, which I'm not going to lie, I forget the name, and I'm really sorry. Basically, when you inhale it, it's almost like a cocaine, but it's times like 10. Like, you don't feel pain, you basically go berserk. And they kind of joke that it turns you into a super soldier, because you just get obnoxiously overcharged with energy and all this other stuff. So, other tidbits about Olaf is I'll tell you in a minute. So, anyways, following the story, Olaf, he kind of gives crap to the 2 henchmen. The henchmen give him crap for being older than them. And then it cuts away to the 2 DEA agents on the roof of another warehouse, kind of observing what's going on. And they're getting their intel. They know the stuff's in there. So that's when they're leaving, and they're talking about what they're going to do. And you can tell the conversation's starting to end, and then the last picture on that page is the Punisher standing in the shadows. So he knows what's in the other warehouse. So clearly you know he's going in guns blazing. So it shows the DEA agents doing a brief on the events that are going to happen in the morning when they raid the warehouse. Needless to say, they're talking, and then they go, they won't, and it cuts away to the Punisher in his apartment with all the guns on the wall, and him saying they won't know what hit them. So it cuts back to Olaf kind of taking crap from the two henchmen, and an explosion happens down in the lower part of the warehouse. They flip to a camera, and the two younger henchmen start freaking out because they realize it's the Punisher. Olaf goes, oh, no, sorry. I correct myself. The two henchmen call him Frank Castle. They go, oh, crap, Frank Castle's here. Olaf goes, that's not Frank Castle. Frank Castle wasn't a monster. And they go, what do you mean? He goes, I was his commanding officer for a while when he was in the Marines. So Olaf knows Frank Castle. So this is going to make the story very interesting. So, you know, one of the henchmen goes, I gotta go tell Face. Like, basically shit's hitting the fan. He takes off. Olaf is talking to the other henchman, and the henchman basically goes, what are you gonna do about it? He goes, I'm not gonna do anything about it. And he shoots the henchman in the head, and he walks away. Forgot to tell you, in the beginning, Face gives Olaf a green envelope with dossiers and stuff like that Olaf needs to learn, sent from Condor. It has a bunch of information about the business. I don't know why, but Face goes, don't let this fall into anyone's hands. Fast forward back to where I was. When Olaf walks out, he leaves the envelope on the table. So, Frank Castle's killing people, and two henchmen bust open the drugs and snort it, and they start kicking the crap out of the Punisher. Punisher eventually gets the upper hand and shoves a spike, like an iron rod, through one of their chests, and he's still coming at him, so he swings a cinder block at the guy, and he pins him against an electrical box and kills the guy because it electrocutes him. And now he's about to get shot by the second guy when a bullet goes through his head. Castle turns, and it's Olaf. And Olaf makes a smarky... Yeah. Olaf makes a remark going, don't bring a cinder block to a gunfight. He goes, just put it down, I don't want to shoot you. So Olaf, kind of reminisces with Castle for a few seconds and goes, don't follow me. A good Marine always has a backup plan. He goes, I left your present upstairs. So he purposely left the envelope about the business for the Punisher. So that's the end of that part of the story. The very last few pages are Face on the phone with Condor. That's where I had mentioned you only hear from Condor once. And Condor mentions, like, I hope that envelope doesn't get into the hands of the Punisher because that could end everything for us. He goes, I just have one task for you, one favor for you. And Face goes, what is it? And he goes, I need you to kill the Punisher. He goes, with pleasure. And that whole time you see little tap kind of... He's talking on the phone, but with comic books you obviously can't hear, so it says tap, tap, tap whenever it shows Face. You come to find out why his name is Face. He cuts people's faces off and tacks them to almost like a plaque and hangs them on his wall as trophies. The person's face he is tacking to the plaque is the other henchman that failed him. So that's the end of that comic. I'm very intrigued to see the next one. I didn't know how I was going to feel about this, and I am thoroughly entertained. I do like that it has a parental advisory in the corner over here. If you didn't read it already, there's a lot of blood, there's violence. It's funny because they kind of bleep out certain swears, but they'll say other swears, so it doesn't really make sense. I'm assuming it's the writer trying to be funny, but I don't know. Maybe they have limits on what they can say. I don't know. But to be honest, I like it. I didn't know if I was going to. I looked at it on the shelf and I wasn't entirely sure. You know, Tom talked me into it, and I grabbed it and told him it was going to be the first one on there. So I would like to thank White Mountain Comics for letting me spend my money there, even though it's not always wisely. Thanks, Tom. But you never hear a complaint from me. So I will eventually have some type of merchandise from them to wear on the channel, and you will see more comics coming in, and I will be doing a whole series on this comic. And on my next video, obviously it's not going to be The Punisher because number 2 isn't out yet. You will find out what I'm going to do next. And as always, I am Nerd, and welcome to my kingdom.